Hello, Harry Beauties! Today, the graceful of the garden is going to read Magic House Tracker of Pandas and the Other Endangered Species. What a wonderful one! Uh, I will not be crying anymore because it's so large. Let me come to that. Chapter 5 Two Heroes. As a little girl in England, Jane Goodell's dreamed studying animals. It all started when Jane was a baby and her father gave her a toy Christmas. Chimpanzees for Christmas. She named it Jubilee and a chimp in London Zoo. Okay, wait a minute. As when she was 3, her mother found her waiting for a hen to lay eggs. The little girl was sadly 5 hours and the hen produced 1 egg. What a fantastic thing at all. She decided at an early age to learning about Africa could be her life's work. Off to Africa. When Jane was 26, she set off to Africa. In Kenya, she met Dr. Louis Leakey. His wife was a famous scientist who discovered fossils of the earliest humans. Dr. Leakey became her mentor. But she had spirit and courage. There, eastern shore, like of the Lake Tanganyika. The park is lush with beautiful green hills, dense forests, and steep valleys. Jane set up to camp and got to work. And she tracked the same group of chimpanzees. Because they were uneasy when Jane came too close, she sat for days watching them from distance and from binoculars. It wasn't easy. For much of the time, she lived alone in the jungle forest of the blood-sucking leeches, prowling leopards, biting insects. Then just one buffalo road was full of crocodiles. She reached for a banana. Jane patience finally paid off. David Graybird came out to her camp. He reached her banana and quickly left. Amazing. The next day, he brought other chimpanzees with him to get more bananas. One day, Jane found David Graybird sitting alone. She squeezed her hand gently, and then she sat down to him and offered him to leave. She sat down next to him and he dropped it, but gently squeezed her hand. What a innocent thing at all. David Gaber became Jane's closest link to the other chimpanzees. After he accepted her, she was finally allowed to sit among them so they went to their daily lives. Jane spent years studying the same group of chimpanzees. She learned that although they treat one another with love and support, they could also hold judges, fight, and even kill each other. So, of course, when she saw David Gaber use a stick to catch termites, she realized chimpanzees were slow. No one ever known this before. When chimpanzees died, no one had ever known. Jane felt as she lost a friend. The hardest death of all was the David Graybird marked him for hit down for no other animals. So, which is very carefulous. What do you think? Jane created a GOMP Stream Research Center for the conservation of chimpanzees. She married and had a son there. Jane's work became so well known that research students came over the world to study with her. It's been 50 years since Jane first went to Africa. Since then, she's written books about her adventures and received many homes for her homework. Jane today. Jane Goodell travels around the world giving talks about saving endangered species. Jane had never stopped never stopped working to save her beloved chimpanzees. In spite of her work, the chimpanzees habitat is still shrinking. Oh no. Jane created the Jane Goodell Institute with branches all over the world to teach about conservation. She also formed a group of youth and churches just for young people. Okay. When Jane returns to GOM, she says that she feels a powerful sense of peace. George Scaler. In 1947, when George Scaler was 14, his family moved to Germany to the United States. George's mother told him he could only take one thing from his home there. George very quickly packed up a special bird that he found different colored eggs in it. Okay. As a child, he loved animals and dreamed of studying them far away places. George Scholar became a wildlife biologist. His first job studying mountain gorillas belonged to a chain of volcanoes. Okay. In someone said he found gorillas peaceful, gentle, and smart. Um, to avoid violence, make males stage mock fights. They grab leaves, stuff them in their mouths. They stand up, throw plants, stamp their feet, and pound their chest. If that's not enough, they'll drop down, floor, and run like crazy. If all this is really fight. George took notes as the gorillas played, hugged one another, and threw things around when they were upset. He noticed that they are afraid of snakes and don't like water. They can't swim, of course. After 2 years, George came away with deep love of these animals. This time, gorillas changed his life forever. George became one of the first ever leaders in the wildlife conservation. Where's George? George could be anywhere. He likes to watch two young sons live in Serengeti in Africa. Two young sons live in Jaguar in Africa while he research lions. Some nice lions will roar outside the family's tent. Lions who roar in family. They even came close to trip over that. Jane had gone to Brazil to learn about alligators, jaguars, and other animals. She was shot in Afghanistan looking for Marco Polo's sheep and was almost killed by poachers in Africa. George and the giant pandas. In 1980, George wanted to find out why pandas were disappearing. Pandas were so popular that poachers were capturing them to sell as pets or zoos. Okay. George experts of giant panda. George has started conservation efforts in Amazon, Alaska, and Nepal. Because his love of mountain gorillas, he helped create a Virginia National Park. It's the first park ever set aside for conservation mountain gorillas. George Scholar and Jane Goodell have devoted their lives saving endangered animals. Their work and the risk they've taken for animals have made both of them true heroes. Turn the page to learn about Hollywood gorilla, King Kong. Hollywood movies helped create the myth of gorillas terrifying animals. It all began in the films. King Kong is a 50-foot gorilla who escapes spot in New York City. In the last scenes, King Kong climbs up to Empire State Building to get away from his captors. Injured and wild, the pirate plane shoot him down. And after he's dead, people in the movie begin to realize King Kong wasn't a monster. He was a real peaceful animal forced to defend himself. Oh, so that's true? King Kong led people to believe that gorillas were brutal and fierce. In real life, we know that it doesn't take fighter planes to kill a gorilla. A single poacher is enough. Chapter 6, Hope for the Future. Even with the bad news, there is still hope. Today, countries everywhere are making laws setting aside land to protect living things. 5 countries in Southern Africa have announced that they were joining 14 national parks and nature reserves into a single area as big as France to protect such species living there. The nature reserve will be named Okavanzo Zambezi Conservation Zone. This zone could protect more than 150,000 elephants along with other endangered animals like cheetahs, rhinoceros, and African wild dogs coming back. Another species can be saved from extinction. Oh, so etc. Werewolves were once endangered and now they were not, and the same true American bald eagles, peregrine falcons, and grayscales. I don't know how this would be work either. Jane Goodell carries a California condor everywhere she goes as a sign of hope. Condor are the largest flying land birds with wingspans of over 9 feet. It flies speeds of 55 miles per hour and up to 115,000 feet high in the air. American Indians call condors thunderbirds or create a myth that their huge wings create thunder. In the 1980s, only 22 California condors remained. They're becoming extinct because the poaching led poisoning or habitat destruction. The San Diego Zoo stepped in and created a breeding program. Here, over 200 live in the wild. Kids can. Jane Goodall believes that doing small things every day can make a big difference. Kids can help. First, they can learn about the natural world. They can build bird feeders, pick up litter, and ask their parents not to use harmful chemicals in their yards. Save energy. Kids can turn off the lights when not using bicycle instead of going everywhere in the car and recycle. Kids can think before they waste paper or buy water in plastic bottles. Kids can take care of their pets. You can keep the cats inside so they don't kill birds, and make sure the dogs and cats have rabies shot. All of us can do something to make the world a better place for all living things. Let's just get started right now. And there, so this is the end of the video today.